Hello, everyone. So, before I start, I would like to ask you all a question. Have you ever felt a bit jealous of those people who already seem to know exactly where they're headed in life? You know, the ones who've got it all figured out. Their goals, their passions, their paths. And have you ever asked yourself, what am I actually good at? What's my thing? And if you have, you're definitely not alone. Hello everyone, my name is Michelle, and today I would like to talk about something that I believe is really important for our future, especially for children and teenagers like me. And that is why we should discover our talents and interests from an early age. Now, I want you to picture this. Imagine a world full of people who, from a young age, already know who they are, what they love, and how they want to make a difference in the world. Now, ask yourself this. What would happen if a parent truly recognized and supported their child's talents early on? Well, the answer, it would just change things. It could be a game changer for humanity. According to research from Stanford University, a 10-year study revealed that children were encouraged in discovering their passions between the ages of 6 to 10 are 2.5 times more likely to report a deeply meaningful life by adulthood. But in Indonesia, a 2022 study from KBAI found that only 28% of children feel that their parents genuinely understand their passion and interest. That means the majority of kids still doesn't feel seen for who they really are. We hear the words talent, interest all the time, don't we? And at first, it may seem like small things. But it's not until someone feels stuck doing something that they don't enjoy that they start to realize just how important those words actually are. Talent is something that you're naturally good at. Your building potential, if you like. Interest, on the other hand, is what excites you. It's the stuff that makes you feel curious, motivated, and alive. I still remember, back then, I was just an ordinary little kid. No big achievements, no loud voices to be heard. All I had were a few storybooks, some in English, the voices of characters that I loved to imitate, and this strange feeling of happiness I felt when I read out loud in front of the mirror, pretending to be someone from a faraway place. While other children were busy playing, I was busy imagining entire worlds hidden between the pages of a book. Though no one thought much of it, no one would have considered it talent. I was just a kid who happened to really, really like English. But to my own heart, English was the world where I felt alive. And it turns out that love, that that believe in something so small was the first light I ever followed. Step by step, my path started to form. Because my parents didn't just guide me, they listened. And for me, that was enough. Ladies and gentlemen, every child is born with a potential. But potential is like a seed. It didn't just grow on its own. It needs to be watered, protected, and most importantly, recognized, especially by people closest to us, like our parents. Too many children grow up without ever discovering who they really are. Why? Well, it's because from a young age, they're told to be like someone else instead of being for their truest selves. A study from APA found that children who are encouraged in discovering their talents and interests early on are 85% more likely to grow up with strong self-confidence and 60% more likely to find a career that aligns with their true passion. And most importantly, they're happier because they're not living to meet someone else's expectations. They're living as their authentic selves. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here today, and honestly, it's not because I'm special or amazing. It's because from a young age, I had parents who believed that something as small as my love for English could actually become a path to my future. I've lost count on how many times my parents took me to the library every week just so I could read or borrow some English books. Buying them was too expensive for our family, but they found a way to support me anyway, and I'm grateful for that. My friends, talent isn't about impressing others. Talent is when something makes you feel alive. An interest is that small light inside you, guiding you to where you belong. My path didn't appear out of thin air. It was built bit by bit through small acts of dedication and through failures that thankfully never made me give up. So, if today you're still feeling unsure about yourself, if you still don't know what your talent is, or if you're still wondering what your purpose might be, don't worry. Just keep walking, keep trying, and above all, keep believing. Because that kind of support helped me to explore what I love. It all started from reading English books, speaking to the mirror, imitating cartoon characters, and writing poems that no one has ever read. People said, oh, it's just a hobby, it'll not soon. But from those quiet moments, a small door slowly opened, and it led me to my first competition, my first stage, and my very first taste of courage. So, how do we discover our talents and interests? Well, this is what I do. First, try new things and don't be afraid to fail. When I was younger, I tried all sorts of lessons. Music, math, karate, arts, and English. Not everything fit me, but that's the point. By trying, you find out what does. And second, ask yourself or the people closest to you. Sometimes others can see our strengths better than we see ourselves. So parents, your teachers, or even your best friend. And third, most importantly, notice what makes you lose track of time. If you can do something for hours without ever getting bored, that's a huge clue. Your interest is probably there. So, to all the parents out there, it's not the expensive gifts or a long list of after-school lessons that children really need. What they need is recognition, support, and a space to grow into who they really are. Maybe your child isn't good at math. I wasn't either. But maybe, like me, they could grow into a powerful communicator. Or maybe they don't enjoy the spotlight. But they might be the quiet thinker who builds the future of this nation. Because in the future, success won't only belong to the smartest person in the room. It'll belong to the ones who knows who they really are and dares to become the best version of themselves. And to get there, we need people who believed in us from the very beginning. People who see that inside us there is something worth fighting for. This journey isn't over. In fact, mine is only just the beginning. But today, I know one thing for sure. I'm not walking alone. I walk with confidence, with my talent beside me, and with the prayers of my parents behind me. And that is more than enough to carry me towards my destiny.